Hey there, cats and kitties, Trekkies and Trekkers worldwide. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and it is my hope with this video today to bring to your attention the awesome potential for backing a Star Trek fan film production set within the Star Trek The Next Generation era. And this is something that I couldn't be more excited about. About a year ago, as of the time of this recording, give or take a couple of weeks, I had done a video reviewing a Star Trek The Next Generation era fan film production known as Chance Encounter, which I was completely won over by and just found all kinds of awesome, very much cut from the cloth of Star Trek The Next Generation in production design, the depth of characterization and storytelling, the performances, the costumes, everything like that. I mean, it felt like proper Star Trek TNG to me, and I was just bouncing off the walls. You know, as a self-proclaimed Trekkie, I'm somebody who grew up with all eras of Star Trek. The Next Generation was pretty much my burgeoning into the Trekkie Trekker realm, but later in life would I sort of fall back on the original series as being my all-time favorite, Star Trek Enterprise being my second, and it kind of bobs and weaves depending on my mood and what I'm watching of current, whether I like TNG, DS9, Voyager, you know, that kind of stuff, all the movies and whatever like that. It all depends on my mood what comes sort of third. But The Next Generation is one of the series I watched the most of growing up. And so when this fan film production came about, and it had been like, you know, something that cropped up in my recommended feed after watching Star Trek Continues, which at the time I referred to Star Trek Continues as being, you know, if it were to be considered the quintessential original series era fan film production, this, you know, fan film short Chance Encounter is the answer to that in the Next Generation era. You know, it just really completely blew my mind. You know, again, the depth of the storytelling, the performances, it felt like proper Star Trek The Next Generation. And I wanted to jump at the chance when I found out that the director and producer behind that piece is trying to put together another, you know, Star Trek The Next Generation era fan film production entitled The Holy Core. Now, I had seen recently a interview with him on the Trekzone YouTube channel, which is what gave me the heads up about this brand new production that they want to put into production, The Holy Core. And it immediately excited me because, as I say, I was just enamored with and blown away by Chance Encounter. And as he would discuss in this interview, you know, what they're sort of planning, what loosely the plot is about, the idea of a world that is, you know, it had just gotten past a war, and of course there are factions still alive in this world that are representative of faith, and the story's going to be sort of a mesh of these ideas, you know, faith versus the society, you know, trying to survive after this debilitating war. And you have the science vessel, the Nebula-class science vessel, USS Vigilance, which will be paying a visit to this planet, hoping to purify the atmosphere and everything. It's a proper science vessel. And, you know, the idea of faith versus science, religion versus the sciences coming together, commingling, and how intriguing that would be, how it was, you know, discussed by the director-producer Gary O'Brien. You know, if you go and check out their video sort of advertising their Kickstarter, you hear both from Gary O'Brien as well as Paul Late, the writer of the piece. And it just sounds all kinds of astounding to me. I'm thoroughly stoked and bouncing off the walls at the potential, hopefully to raise awareness. You know, I believe the Kickstarter is, I believe it began March 1st, and it'll run all the way to the end of March, I think is what he said in the interview. They are hoping to raise £8,700, which equates to about $12,000 US, in the hopes of producing this. And their entire Kickstarter, I read over their page as far as how that, you know, the money will break down in the production of this, from sets to costumes to, you know, hiring the actors and food for them during the filming, location shooting, the technical equipment they'll need, you know, for the special effects, the cameras and everything like that. And I was, because of how impressed I was and just wowed by Chance Encounter with all of the special effects that were put into it. The behind the scenes videos that followed showing like the internalized shuttlecraft, you know, it's just sort of a little thing, a little boxy thing they built in like one of their living rooms or something like that. But it looks legit. In the finished product, it looks legit. Special effects, you know, everything like that. The look of the ships and everything. I mean, it looks spectacular to me in Chance Encounter, and I couldn't more highly recommend. If you haven't seen Chance Encounter, I will have it linked below alongside the link to their Kickstarter, so you can check all of this information out for yourself and delve into it. The chance to back a production of this level of quality, the promise, the potential that, you know, this particular project beholds for me, you know, it was something that I couldn't hesitate to want to talk about, you know, be so excited about, bouncing off the walls about, and wanting to share with you guys, anyone who happens upon this video, where we're failing financially, like I don't have the money to really put toward it. If I did, I would put so many dollars toward it. But the least I can do for my fellow Trekkies and Trekkers who have watched my Star Trek content, whether that be reviewing and discussing Star Trek Discovery, whether it be the video I did, you know, after the culmination, the finale, the series finale of Star Trek Continues, whether it be going all the way back to, you know, earliest portion of my YouTube channel where I talked about remembrances of all 10 of all 10 of the Star Trek films, from the original series films to the Next Generation films to Star Trek 2009, whether it be my reviews of Star Trek novels, whatever like that. I mean, I am tried and true a Trekkie. I love the lore. I love the canon. I love all of it, you know, all eras of it equally. Even where that canon conflicts and things like that with Star Trek Discovery, you know, I find something to love out of all of it. But I think the universal appeal of Chance Encounter, the short, and the potential for that cumulatively of Trekkies and Trekkers together for the Holy Core, when you really get down to brass tacks, when you see what they want to put into this, when you see the level of the performances and the set design and the special effects, the costuming, you know, the actors involved. I mean, this is something you really want to put money toward and really want to see become realized. All of the perks that are listed on their Kickstarter, there are some fantastic ones, from PDFs of the original script to having your name and a photograph of your choosing, you know, becoming part of the production, the finished piece when it is finally, you know, put together. The aspect of their very much adhering to the CBS fan guidelines, which may or may not involve, they want it to be like about a half an hour length, you know, short subject, but they may actually break it up into 2 15-minute segments as per the CBS guidelines. They are adherent to that. They are respectful of the Star Trek brand, and you can tell that there is love and passion behind the eyes and you know, in the works behind the scenes of wanting to bring such a fan production about. And as I say, for those like me who missed the train, you know, as far as backing Star Trek Continues, the quintessential, in my own opinion, you know, original series fan film production, this really is the next best thing. This is something I just want to, you know, shout from the rooftops. Please, friends, Trekkies, Trekkers alike, if you have a passion for Star Trek, especially that era, that Next Generation era, have a look at Chance Encounter if you haven't already seen it. If you have already seen it, watch it again. Refamiliarize yourself with it. Get to know the people behind it through the behind-the-scenes videos. Get to know them through their Kickstarter for this new production that they want to bring about, the Holy Core. Get familiarized with the plot, what the basic plot of it is, the design of it is. Look at the special effects involved, the performances, and just bask in the glory of it, you know? And hopefully rally cry in help, in answer to their wanting to raise this money to make this a completed project. I really hope with all my heart that this is something we can see become realized, because, again, the hope, the potential, the adhering to that era, that Next Generation era, the depth of this story in the scope that they have thus far explained, you know, as far as the plot they want to realize goes, it just is magnificent, and it's an opportunity not to be missed. I believe, as I say, you have the entirety of the month of March to, you know, basically donate money, donate funds to hopefully help them realize this production and make it legitimized. I hope that you will. I hope you'll consider it. This is the least I can really do. If the director Gary O'Brien and or the writer Paul Late ever happen upon this video, you have all my accolades and appreciation for the work that you put into Chance Encounter. And I really hope with all my heart that we can see realized the Holy Core. It really thoroughly excites me. And I can't wait to see it. I hope it comes to be. I really want to be able to see it. And so yeah. Otherwise, that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Let me know, as I say in the comments below, what you think of all of this. Check out the Kickstarter. Check out Chance Encounter. Check out my review of Chance Encounter from about a year ago. And, you know, if you're a Star Trek fan, what is your favorite era? Let me know that as well. I know a lot of people that I've talked to in covering, you know, Star Trek. A lot of them grew up with The Next Generation first, as I did. And, but, you know, as I say, I was somebody who adapted and grew to love all eras of Star Trek. I find things to love in even the worst considered series and movies and things like that. So I'm always excited about Star Trek, no matter what the era. But especially to see The Next Generation making a sort of return. And I mean proper Next Generation. I'm not talking the Orville. It is a good show, but it's not Star Trek, as much as people try to implore, you know, that it is. If you want something really directly tied to the Next Generation era, watch Chance Encounter, back the Holy Core. And yeah, otherwise I hope this video finds you well. Live long and prosper, my friends. Peace.